Hey guys, Stephen Bogren here from Pro Physique. Today I want to talk about how to win an overall buck. So hey everybody, happy Monday! Happy Monday! What a great week that we have ahead of us. Lots of exciting things happening. Going to be at the Yorton Cup in Washington DC, the the Super Bowl of Natural Bodybuilding. That's what I'm going to call it. The World Championships of Natural Bodybuilding. The hibbity dibbity flexity bexities. So that's going to be really exciting. Get to see a lot of really amazing natural bodybuilders out there. A lot of amazing physique athletes out there. And that should be really cool. I don't have anybody competing, but I'm going out to support my boy Colin. Go hang out with everybody and hopefully see some of the America Labs core nutritional peeps and just have a blast out there, right? So it should be a really, really good weekend. But let's talk about this past weekend, because there's something that I think is a little bit overdue to talk about that I haven't really discussed to this point, but definitely bears mention, and that is, how do you win an overall title? And this is a very difficult topic, right? Difficult because there's a lot of things you don't have control over. You do not have control over who shows up. You do not have control over how long they've been lifting. You do not have control over their conditioning that they bring in. You do not have control over how they pose, right? There are a lot of things you do not have control over. And so we have to take a lot of those things into account, knowing that there are going to be a lot of aspects of this process that are immediately out of our control, right? If Erin Stern comes to a bikini show, which she won't anymore because she got her pro card, but you're probably going to have a hard time beating her. She's a pro, right? Same thing, if Angelica Shear comes to a show, you're probably not going to beat her. It is going to be very, very difficult. It's just one of those things where it's like, wow, their physique is there. That's why they're at that next level. It's just, it might not be something we have control over. However, let's talk about the things that we 100% do have complete and utter control over. That this really bears mention because of the fact that I've had a few girls this year win the overalls at their debut shows, their first shows ever. And three, just off the top of my head, we're going to talk about Taylor, we're going to talk about Sonia, and we're obviously going to talk about Chloe, who a lot of you always ask about. And let's talk about a little bit different things that we had happen. So, first and foremost, Sonia and Taylor, both very different nutritional approaches to the process than Chloe, because Chloe has utilized a lower carb diet throughout the entire prep. Every single one of these girls was ready early. Every single one of them. They were all lean enough ahead of time. They all reversed into their shows. Plain and simple. The main difference here, and this kind of goes back to what I was just saying, is I think Chloe, out of all of them, was ready the earliest. She was the one who was having like the most prep feels. And so we made the decision, I made the decision, we made the decision, you're in part of this, to start reversing earlier. And so that can be kind of a risky decision, but we started reversing earlier with her. Like, activity level, expenditure came up. She responded very positively to it. She still continued to drop. Well, everything just got easier. And that's like the beauty of it, right? Taylor, Sonia, exact same thing, except obviously we're going to have a lot higher carbohydrate intake for them because of the fact that they normally had a higher carbohydrate intake. So I think the biggest thing, first and foremost, that we want to talk about is get ready early. The way that I like to peak people is a linear progressive load. So each day we're going to increase carbohydrates up, 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 up. Now, sometimes if somebody's not filling out enough, we'll be a little bit more aggressive with some sodium, a little bit more aggressive with some water, a little bit more aggressive with some carbohydrates. We'll make sure that they're filling out, right? And so that's the difference of a muscle looking flat, or a muscle looking full. It's pushing out against that skin. It has that nice shape, right? So first and foremost, your peaking process, don't cut water, don't cut sodium, don't try and load carbs without water and sodium. It needs the water, it needs the sodium to get into the muscle. So we want to make sure that we understand the physiological mechanisms behind looking our best. We're dropping cardio, we're getting rid of inflammation, we're filling out, we want full glycogen stores. We want to be doing all the right things to really look our best on show day. Now, not only do we want to look our best, and for me that means being ready early and working things up into the show, we want to be the best prepared that we can be for the show. And now, I like to think and hope that we do a good job with that, right? That I do a good job with that. So making sure that you know what to expect, right? Now, for all these girls, all these women, they won the overall at their first show ever, their debut show. So they had never been on stage before. They had never done it. So how do you know what to expect? Well, my job as a coach is to prepare you for that. So I utilize a couple posing coaches. Here in the States, it's going to be like Lauren Conlin, Natalie Matthews, Jazzy Fresh, Virginia Lamar, and those are really the main people that I'm referring out to for posing coaching. Can I coach posing? Yes. Can I coach posing as well as these girls, these women, these ladies? Fuck no. They are just better than me. And so one of the big things about a coach, you have to know when to refer out. So for me, it is much easier for me to refer out for my posing clients to people that are better. They just help them better prepare. So they had all been working on posing for a very long time before the stage, right? They had all been working through posing throughout the entire prepping process, making tweaks and changes as they got leaner to make sure that they were bringing their best presentation. It does not matter how good you look if you cannot show it, right? So we want to make sure that they're ready for that in posing. They've been practicing. We haven't been instilling bad habits into them. If we do have bad posing habits and things that aren't, showing off their physique to its best, that we're taking care of those, we're addressing them, we're making sure that we're picking the poses that fit the league, right? And that fit their physique. So we want to make sure that we're doing all the right things in terms of preparation for presentation. And that's going to be really, really, really important. Really, 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 really important. Especially in a category like women's bikini, where we have bodybuilding with pageantry mixed, and your stage presence, your poise, your confidence, your hair, your makeup, that posing, everything matters in terms of how you're placing, okay? So making sure that we're ready for all those things, right? But also making sure that we're ready for some of the other things, like there's going to be other competitors around. They're going to be doing different things. We can't let that get into our head, right? Making sure that we know how to deal with the tan. Are we dark enough? Have we exfoliated, right? Have we brought extra sheets to the hotel so we're not getting charged for tanning the white sheets? Have we done all those small things, right? For a lot of the ladies, and this is one that a lot of people don't typically talk a lot about, do we have something so that we can go to the bathroom and not ruin our tan? Ooh, that's a big one. So making sure that we're doing all those correct things so that when we get to the show, we know what to expect. We know, hey, prejudging is going to go like this. Finals are going to go like this. If I'm in this league to compete, typically where I'm at in stage in this spot means this, right? Talking after prejudging, how did prejudging go, right? Making sure that if we think that we were close to first, we're doing the right things to bring the best package to finals too. Oh, did we flatten out a little bit? Or were we maybe a little bit hesitant on our water and sodium, and maybe we need to be a little bit more aggressive to stay full with those things? Making sure we're addressing all those things on a show day, which unfortunately means being involved. It means being involved in the process on both ends. Coach to client, client to coach. And they all did a great job with these things too. So when it comes to winning an overall at your first show, or at any show, one, it comes down to making sure that you're ready and the best you can possibly be. Now, I don't ever tell anybody, stay off stage forever, build the Olympian physique. You have to, at some point, decide, I'm going to do a show to find out whether or not I even want to continue to invest my time, my effort, my money, my life into this thing. Because I've definitely had clients that have done shows and hated it. They said, fuck this, dude, not about it. Cool. 100% about that. But maybe we love it and maybe it is something we want to invest our time into. Either way, when we do the show, we get that out of the way. Okay? And so that alleviates a lot of questioning in terms of the process and what we're doing there. But making sure that we have the best physique we can bring. Easy things to do that. You will never be able to control who else shows up. You'll never be able to control their physique or what they look like, how they do. But we can absolutely 100% prepare you the best that we possibly can for the process and the competition. So making sure that we have the condition, that we're full, that we're not doing things like dropping water or cutting sodium or any of those things that not only put you at a health risk, but are also going to make you look less than your best. Making sure that we're doing all the right things so that you are prepared for the process, so that you know what to expect, you can be comfortable. Because again, stressing and cortisol can have a huge impact on your show day look. And then making sure that, one, as a coach, we're there, we're available to you. We're there to talk, we're there for phone calls, we're there for text messages, whatever you need on show days, so that, hey, again, we're managing stress, we're managing the unknowns. My big thing is I want everything to be laid out and detailed. That way, you go in, you have a plan, we just execute the plan. It's the same thing I like to do on show day when I compete. I don't want to have to think, I want to go in, I want to execute, I want to do my fucking job, and I want to get out. So that is one way to help make an overall champion, guys. I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that this video was not what you expected it to be.